Now I'm going to try and carefully wind the roof back on using the ratchet. Now you can watch this slider moving up, this end stop. That will eventually settle in a certain place. Okay, so the stop is moving. Whoops. It would be ideal if I had somebody else doing the winding for me. Incidentally, you can see in here, you might be able to see in here. Let's see, I can see it. Let's try and position this. You can see a three-way joint. Now, when we first had problems the other day, when my wife couldn't get it closed, what had actually happened is that the pin here, where my finger is, the pin had fallen out. There's a spring clip there on the end, and the pin had fallen out. And so, first of all, I replaced it with a bolt, going all the way through, and put a nut on the end of it. But then when I took this assembly apart in the back, I found the offending pin and spring clip and kind of re-sprung the spring, so I've put that back together. Anyway, let's carry on winding. And the reason I'm doing this is because there's precious little information online that I could find about how this roof is supposed to work. So it's now getting to a point where, sorry if this is boring, but okay, where the window is about to flip over. Oh no, okay, it's now levering itself over. And now the gets to this stage, and the roof behind me is being pulled forward, and then eventually what will happen is that the whole thing will get dragged forward, and it does seem to come down with quite a crash, and I don't remember that happening before. Okay, it's the front section of the roof that's moving at the moment, and when that's fully made fully tight, then the back, now you can see it starting to sort of cantilever over. So it's rising up and is about to. Now that's the bit that I don't remember happening before. Now the whole thing collapsed down on top of the window, and I kind of feel that the window ought to be coming up towards the roof rather than the roof collapsing down on top of the window. But anyway, now if I carry on winding, you can see that the window is being raised up, or you might be able to see, and I think we've reached the end of the line, and it isn't closed at the front, as you might be able to see. There's a gap. There's still a gap at the front of the car. So I'm now going to do that trick I mentioned earlier, where I lift these things up over the top of, well, over the top of the stop there, and look, it's wedged behind that. It's wedged behind the stop on that side. So I've just pushed it up, and I could feel the whole canvas flex as it got released. And now I think I'll be able to carry on winding, and you can, yes, you can hear the roof closing at the front. I'm cautious about over winding, but yeah, I'm now fully closed at the top there. So there is certainly something about those stops that is the problem, and I can't believe that this is how it should be. You can see in this corner, if I get a good picture of it, you can see that the pin is sitting on top of the stop, and I'm really pretty convinced that it shouldn't be like that. Mind you, actually, I'm just now wondering whether the pin should be inside the stop, because as you can see, there is a round hole, and maybe those pins became disconnected from the stop when that three-way mechanism broke at the back, and that's what I'm going to try next.